Well, thousands of federal and government workers just landing a massive work-from-home deal. This ahead of the incoming Trump administration's efforts to mandate workers to return to office.
The updated contract impacts some 42,000 employees. It will allow workers to stay hybrid until 2029. Under the new agreement, workers' in-office requirements range from 2 to 5 days a week, depending on the job. Jim Schultz is the president of the Minnesota Private Business Council. Pete Sepp is the president of the National Taxpayers Union, and both join us now. So, Jim, what do you think about this deal and the timing of it all?
Well, Emma, I think this is so representative of the type of thing that makes Americans cynical about government. You have an administration that was completely repudiated at the polls just a few weeks ago, their policies repudiated. And then they go ahead and strike a deal here that locks in this arrangement that's dramatically more generous than the vast majority of Americans get for people to work from home for 5 more years. And this is the type of things that makes Americans cynical. There should be federal legislation to force federal employees back to work. This is what most Americans have to deal with. You have an administration that has allowed these workers to do this for far too long. And what we need is people to get back to work and doing the job for the American people. Yeah,
speaking of work, opening bell ringing now, live here at the New York Stock Exchange. So, Pete, I'll go to you on that, but with the response that we'll read from you here, it says this: in a statement from the American Federation of Government Employees wrote, quote, "This deal will secure not just telework for SSA employees, but will secure staffing levels through prevention of higher attrition, which in turn will secure the ability of the agency to serve the public," unquote. In a control room, if we could just go to CO5, and we'll show Chairman Comer. House Oversight and Accountability Committee Chairman James Comer, he reacted to the news. He said this: thousands of federal employees just landed a work-from-home deal ahead of Donald Trump taking office. This is why I introduced the Show Up Act. Our government needs to show up for the people it serves. Time to hold the bureaucracy accountable. And he tagged Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in that, who will be handling the Department of Government Efficiency. So, Pete, overall reaction?
Overall, I would say, what is the rush here on the part of the unions? We participated in a study by the Government Accountability Office of 4 federal agencies and their use of telework because of our expertise on IRS. That was one of the agencies GAO studied. They're going to study Social Security in their next round of evaluating telework. Their biggest conclusions were, okay, this helps with recruitment for some employees to be able to work remotely, but the agencies have not evaluated telework on performance outcomes yet. And Social Security hasn't even gone through this process. Why in the world is the union saying we're confident that this is going to be a great deal when there is no evidence, no data about how this is affecting productivity? My words here would be, look, let's all take a step back and demand the evidence. Maybe some kind of telework is helpful for taxpayer savings on facilities, better customer service, but the agencies need to prove it, and they haven't been doing that.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll have their chance when Elon Musk sends out his email at the end of the week saying, "What did you accomplish this week?" Coming from Doge, of course. We'll see. Jim Schultz, Pete Sepp, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
All right, we continue to follow.